Today, I want to talk about a startup that is changing the way people read and has yet also simultaneously infiltrated productivity YouTube. Speechify was created to help individuals with disabilities like dyslexia and ADD learn to read better or simply listen to any text that they need, whether it's a text message, an email, or simply out of a physical textbook. It's a company that's changing lives all around the world, helping students who have previously been very disengaged with school become much more interested in the readings that they're being given and be able to perform better on a daily basis, and also helping people who want to read more books or learn more in a shorter period of time to do so. But one of the things that is probably most interesting about Speechify is its founder, Cliff Weitzman. Weitzman has a massive social media presence and is just a textbook case of how entrepreneurs can use social media to really boost their sales for their products. And is how I found Speechify. I didn't find Speechify through my friends in education. I didn't find Speechify through reading TechCrunch or Business News. I found Speechify because I saw him on a podcast. Speechify is changing lives all around the world. But is it like its founder, Cliff Weitzman, says that it's going to be a $1 trillion company? Or is it going to continue to be for a specific niche of people? Want to learn more? Let's get started.
My name is Cliff Weitzman. I'm the CEO of a company called Speechify.
It's my biggest investment that I've ever made.
Listen to Cliff Weitzman. He's a very, very smart man.
You can listen to your emails like a podcast or an audiobook. You're not confined to the computer screen.
You see, it used to be that I had to strain my eyes all day looking at my computer, reviewing documents. But no longer. I have an app. It's called Speechify.
Speechify is a text-to-speech app that can read any text aloud. Text message, email, online articles, or even text from physical books like textbooks, novels, etc. It uses optical character recognition to read physical books and has a variety of voices and speeds that you can use to adjust how you listen to whatever text you're trying to read. The app is #1 in the Apple Store in its category, which is actually magazines and newspapers, and has well over 60,000 reviews with an average of about 4.7 stars. The app is available in a variety of languages. English, obviously, but also French, Chinese, Russian, and many, many more. However, what makes Speechify really interesting is its mission, its CEO's story, and how people are using the app. Speechify was founded in 2017 by Cliff Weitzman, who actually started building the software years earlier while a student at Brown University to help him get through all of his readings while tackling his dyslexia and ADD.
And eventually what I did is I built this app that let me take pictures of physical books with my phone, and it would scan them, and then it would read them to me. And I could upload PDFs, Word documents, Google Drive, and it would read that too. And I could share a website, it would parse that, it would read that too. And it made it so that I could longboard to breakfast, eat breakfast, walk to class, and listen to all my work. I never had to sit at my desk to do any of my work in college. When I graduated, I was able to pay for my tuition from those projects and didn't need to take a job as a result. And I asked myself, okay, if I was a billionaire right now, what would I want to do? And my answer was, above everything else in life, what I want to be is the person that I needed most when I was young.
Once he graduated college, he wondered if the little app that he built to help himself basically do his homework in college could help people with dyslexia, ADD, or other disabilities all around the world, and decided to give Speechify a shot. However, he didn't just want to create an app that would read text aloud. He wanted something that could potentially help kids and students all around the world learn how to read better. So not only does the app read text to you aloud, it also allows you to adjust the speed, and it also flashes words on your cell phone screen every time they come up, with the idea being that if you are dyslexic and just need to practice looking at the words more, you're able to hear the words and see them at the same time and help make those connections in your brain happen faster. So while some customers may just use it to listen to text, others are using it to actually improve their reading cognition by listening and reading at the same time. The app appears to be a huge hit. Weitzman and Speechify's website indicate that they get notes from all around the world on a daily basis, thanking them for building an app that's helping students or individuals who struggle with reading or have the ability to listen to text that they never had access to before.
I used to spend hours reading papers and editing for my homework, and it's been cut down a lot with Speechify.
Well, before Speechify, it took me a while to finish my homework and like reading assignments because it would just be hard for me to read, and then I'd have to stop like completely, probably lose what I'm reading.
Some of them lose interest because they get lost on the page. Whereas if they have the text in front of them and it's being read to them at a rate where they're focused, because the rate of the listening is keeping up with how their mind is working, it just helps them.
I love Speechify. I use it like when I edit a paper. It like helps me with making sure like a sentence makes sense.
One thing that's a bit different from Speechify from other text-to-speech apps is the physical aspect. Being able to take a photo of a page in a book and have that page be read aloud. A lot of college textbooks, high school textbooks, etc. don't have audiobooks built in. That's kind of only been a thing for more popular books. So having the ability to have an app read from a photograph was a big game changer compared to their competition. It's a great story. And it also helps that Cliff Weitzman himself has a massive social media presence, a YouTube show, and a phenomenal speaker.
So if these types of stories are enticing to you and the types of thing that you want to get more exposure to, click subscribe below, follow the journey.
You may be wondering how I ended up singing Hamilton in the middle of the night at Aaliyah Abdal's place. To answer that question, we have to go a little bit earlier in the day, when Aaliyah and I met for the first time in person in my house in London.
His YouTube channel has over 8,000 subscribers, and he occasionally pops up in videos with big YouTube stars, including Amar from Yes Theory, Graham Stephan, and Ali Abdal. He has over 39,000 followers on Instagram and over 12,000 followers on LinkedIn. He's even childhood friends with Roz Galore, the founder of Y Platform, a Chinese company that manages social media accounts that features the daily lives of foreigners living in China and is like a really big deal. So I think it's safe to say that Cliff Weitzman and Speechify really get social media. And partially because of the social media presence, the app is spreading not just among people with disabilities, but also among neurotypicals as well. YouTubers have been promoting the app as a learning and time-saving tool.
I don't really have very many strong beliefs in life, but if there's one hill I'm going to die on, it's that speed listening to podcasts and audiobooks is the best way forward.
App originally developed for people with dyslexia, but it's so helpful for literally everyone on the planet. You basically upload a PDF file or whatever sort of text that you want, and it will read it out loud to you. The reason it's so incredible is that listening to things is so much faster than reading. It's so much easier to increase the speed with which it's said rather than to kind of train yourself to read faster.
And on top of that, college students have been using it to help save time getting through their readings, which honestly, man, I would have loved that. Following Weitzman's social media channels, it's pretty easy to see the success. There are videos of his team working out of offices all around the world, including like a house that they're renting in London. There are videos in Weitzman's YouTube channel where he talks directly to camera about his experiences. Some of them are really serious and heartwarming, and some of them are really funny. And everywhere you look, there are tweets, comments, and videos of people talking about how Speechify has changed their lives. And Weitzman even has a video where he talks about what it's like to build a $1 trillion company. So I know what you're thinking. Carolyn, why haven't you posted in 2 weeks? This video isn't good enough to have been put off for 2 weeks. This is unacceptable. Here's the deal. I started this video like 3 weeks ago. And when I filmed, I had the hardest time finding anything about investors, revenue, valuation, funding rounds. I couldn't find literally anything. And so I ended up trying to figure out and dig and find my own conclusion. And I noticed that Weitzman had been going on a fair amount of field trips
for important meetings.
And I'm working on closing this big deal right now. So I booked the flight on Ali's computer in his house. And now it's 6:30 in the morning. And I'm in the airport in Heathrow. And I'm flying to California. So now I'm flying over Arizona.
In the airport, going to fly from San Francisco, where I've been for less than 24 hours.
So I thought,
I'm guessing they are raising funding right now. I'm guessing they're in the middle of a funding round and they are trying to figure this all out as we speak.
so I made a whole video talking about how they were doing their Series A, and it was obvious because of their videos, and so on and so forth, and how I couldn't really come up with a true conclusion of how Speechify was doing because of that.
Now, again, I could be wrong. We are operating off of less data than usual, but I think it's pretty safe to say we will be hearing more about Speechify very soon.
So after all of that, I finished the video and I went to upload it last Thursday. So late, but not like horrifically so. And as I was looking for more logos to put on the thumbnail, that's when I saw that there was a logo that came from Great Oak Ventures' website. And I went on their website, and indeed, they were investors. I was wrong. So I kept digging and digging and digging and digging. And that's when I realized they just didn't have a PR blast. There was one website, pitchbook.com, that showed that they had raised a $10 million Series A round. And I had missed it. And they had a whole list of VCs listed here for your convenience. And yeah, no, I was wrong. My thesis for my video was wrong, and I thought I have to start over. So instead, I decided not to start over, and instead to just change the ending. Speechify had a $10 million Series A round, which is excellent. It's great, especially for a product as niche as this, but with potential to expand. And Weitzman's more recent travels are almost definitely because they're going after a Series B, which is very exciting. So I think financially, everything indicates that Speechify is doing well. There wasn't any details of valuation that I could find, but still, in general, things looked pretty good. Now, with this newfound realization that I got the entirety of my thesis and therefore the entirety of my ending for the Speechify video wrong, what do I think? I think that Speechify is a great company doing great things, and as I said in my original recording, they've got a lot going for them, which is great.
I first heard about Speechify when I was listening to Graham Stephan's podcast with Amar from Yes Theory. And like before Weitzman got through his pitch, I was immediately skeptical. As a lifelong reader who reads literally constantly, I was initially super skeptical. I didn't want more reasons for people to stop reading. Plus, on top of that, text-to-speech software has existed for a while. I didn't really get the need. And it wasn't until Cliff started telling his story.
When I was in preschool, I wanted to be Prime Minister of Israel, a billionaire, and a pop star all at the same time. And I figured, at least to do two of these things, you gotta be able to read. And so I used to practice reading a lot. And no matter how hard I tried, for some reason I could never get the hang of it. And it turned out that I had dyslexia, which makes it so that reading one sentence takes me as much energy and brain power as it takes most other people to do a long division equation in their head. And I also have ADD, which makes it a little bit difficult to focus.
And that's when I realized, oh, this app isn't for me, but it is for others. So when Weitzman started talking about the successes that the app had in helping kids learn how to read better through, the text flashing on the screen or just being able to hear the words as you were reading, and how it was helping people who had previously never had the ability to read, I got it. It makes total sense. I would not be surprised if there is going to be a whole generation of kids specifically with dyslexia who are going to be able to thrive because of this app.
Are they going to be a $1 trillion company like Weitzman says? Probably not. But are they going to be a $1 million or $1 billion company? Maybe. Definitely millions, for sure, I think. Billions, we will find out. But overall, I think they're a great company with great leadership, excellent social media marketing in general, and I think they have a ton of potential, which in the end is, you know, all that really matters if you're building a startup. You don't have to build the biggest startup in the world. You can start a perfectly marvelous, really large startup and have a phenomenal life and not have it be, you know, Google. That's fine. And as I said in the original recording, it does not matter. What really matters is the impact that it makes over time. And with that, I'm gonna let previous Carolyn wrap this up.
I think they're going to help a lot of people in the world and help make some really positive changes. And that's awesome. If you're looking for a solid investment that is going to help people and make the world a better place, I think this is it. Everyone deserves the chance to learn because learning is one of the best ways that you can change your life for the better. And I believe, and I think Speechify does too, that everyone deserves that. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe. I would also love to know what you think about Speechify. Do you think this is the next $1 trillion company? Do you think its market size is potentially limited? Do you think that Cliff Weitzman is exceedingly handsome and needs to stop taking pictures without a shirt? I want to know, so please let me know in the comments down below. And if you don't know who I am, my name's Carolyn. I make videos every Tuesday about startups and tech and basically trying to determine whether or not a startup is going to succeed or fail miserably. So if you want to watch more videos like this, please hit the subscribe button and come back. I would love to see you again. So I'll see you next time. Bye.
What's in your hand? Back at me. I have it. It's a report that will take you 10 hours to read. Snap. Now you can listen instead of reading in 5 hours while eating dinner, working out, or driving to my place.
When your eyes get tired and you still look at the screen absorbing blue light, that's how you end up needing glasses.
Anything is possible when you use Speechify to learn faster instead of harder. I'm on a horse.